Well, good afternoon, good morning, good evening, wherever you are watching this. On today's membership showcase, I am joined by the amazing Sam Lindsay from My Mortgage Angel. Sam is both a mortgage and protection angel, but she's also a serial networker. So she is a member of several women in business networking groups, and I'm guessing some other networks.
There might be other networks that shall not be mentioned.
It's fine. It's fine if they are mentioned. It's absolutely not a problem at all. But um, when I first met Sam, I could see how she really utilizes networking for her business and builds the most amazing relationships. So, welcome, Sam.
Thank you so much for having me, Vicky. It's lovely to chat
You're
with
welcome.
you.
You're welcome. So anyone that hasn't come across you before, and I'm sure there will be a few, can you tell us a little bit more about you and what My Mortgage Angel actually does? And I should have kept my little angel. I should have worn it on my pin
Oh.
belt or something.
I'm Sam Lindsay. I'm the founder of My Mortgage Angel, which is almost 10. It'll be 10 years old in the summer. So I'm really proud of that.
Could be.
We offer expert-friendly mortgage advice. Um, there's a whole reason behind that, which I think we will probably get into now. But in a short space, yeah, I wanted to create that space where nobody feels like there's a silly question to ask because mortgages are not taught in schools, and that information that does come out in schools isn't, from my experience, not always as accurate or as useful as it should be. So most of my conversations start with, I don't know the first thing about mortgages. And that's absolutely fine. I do know mortgages and I'm going to explain them to you in a way that you're going to understand. And we like to work with clients from a planning perspective. My clients are the people who say, I wonder if, could I borrow enough to buy my home, to buy my partner out, to install a swimming pool in the garden, to buy a second property, to buy more property? All of those questions. And if you're wondering what your mortgage options are, then absolutely that's the space I'm in.
That's the space you love to be in as well, isn't it?
Yeah.
So the most important question I took from that is what are the plans to celebrate 10 years in business?
Well, I am having a party on Saturday the
Awesome.
20, I believe it's 27th of June. And I'm going to have it, yeah, in Benfleet, in my at my home. So I'm going to put a link on my socials so everybody is going to know about it. And then just message me. I'll book you a ticket, and then we know you're coming. So it'll be
Yeah,
really
I
lovely
was
to
going to
see
say,
you there, Vicky.
especially when it's in your home, you kind of want to know how many are going to rock up through your door, aren't you? But
Yeah.
I'm so glad you're celebrating because I talk to so many business owners that will say, I've just done 3 years in business. 3 years is 2 years is a massive milestone. 3 years is a massive milestone. Then you sort of skip four and you get to five, and then you sort of skip all the way to 10.
Yeah.
Does it feel like it's been 5 minutes?
No,
No.
it's been a long journey, Vicky, from where I started. I didn't expect to last 10 weeks, let alone 10 years, if I'm honest with you. I just had this passion that there needed to be this different approach to mortgages to what I'd experienced. And I just thought, you know what? I borrowed £1,000 off of my mum and said, can I just buy a computer and can I just try? And if need be, I'll then go and stack shelves in the supermarket. But this is what I want to do. So yeah, everybody supported me around. Like my family have been absolutely incredible. But really, and I know you want me to say this, but I'm not being paid to say this, anybody's watching, but networking has really been the key for me.
Yeah.
Um, Interestingly, I just want to tell you this before I forget, my second business birthday party, because I've had them on the years where my heart's been in alignment. So anyone that knows me will say your head and your heart need to match, especially when you're making a huge decision on mortgages and stuff. But I try to live that through my life. So my second business party I had at my hairdresser's, and it was a really interesting collaboration because you wouldn't normally put those two people together, but people talk in hairdressers and you
100%.
trust.
I think hairdressers, if you want to know anything, they are the people to go to.
Or nail techs.
Yeah, they are. You're in the chair. you may be a little bit more relaxed than you usually are. I know with my hairdresser, Emma, we cover a multitude of topics in a
Yeah,
very short space of time. But absolutely, you're
yeah,
right, because you're going to get people from all walks of life coming through the door.
yeah,
And there will be at some stage, whether it's, as you say, thinking about, I want to buy a property, but understanding that X amount of money that they want to have in the bank and how are they going to save that,
yeah,
through to, releasing money to put that new kitchen in or put that
yeah.
new bathroom in. I've seen on your socials over Christmas encouraging us all to have new kitchens.
I'm not encouraging you to spend money at all, but I'm
No,
just saying if
no,
you want to
if
improve
you
your
want to.
home, let's explore the option of you maybe borrowing it on your mortgage. It's just
Yeah,
about you understanding your figures because one size doesn't fit all.
yeah. And I think the landscape is, I mean, you must have seen it change so much over the 10 years. Well, I know when I bought my first property, it was very simple. It was 3 or 4 times a joint salary, and that's the number that you knew you could get, and and that's how it worked. But I'm guessing or I'm assuming that the mortgage landscape has changed so much in terms of what you can, how you can work to get something that's going to work for you as a client and be
Yeah.
affordable, because nobody wants to get into a situation where they can't afford to pay to live in their property.
So I'm obviously a lot older than you, Vicky, because my first mortgage was called a self-cert mortgage. And you just sign a form that says, yes, this is how much I earn.
I
Crazy
feel
world.
like I feel like I'm older than you, and I feel like at the time, probably my partner, which then became my first husband, probably did all of that.
Okay.
Because I'm guessing or assuming that probably in some relationships that you get, one is all over the numbers and how things work, and there's
Yes.
another party that is like, yeah, whatever I need to do. And I, at the time, I was the just tell me what you need from me kind of person, whereas now I understand the stuff a lot more, because I think it's so important that we do understand it and not
Yes.
just rely on somebody else to do all that for you. So you borrowed £1,000 off your mum. How did that conversation go?
Well, my mum's incredibly supportive of me, so it was a bit of a no-brainer. So I went down to Curry's and I bought my first laptop, but I'd already bought a name badge. You've always seen me. I've got metal name badges. I've got
Always.
three different colours. And I was wearing that when I went to Curry's, and I was just talking to the guy who sold me the laptop because I didn't know, like technology and I are not friends. And just explained who I was and what I was going to do. Like I literally hadn't started, and he was one of my first clients because he
Oh
was like, "Yeah,
wow.
actually, I want to talk to you." And then I went to the bank to open a bank account, and I then subsequently did a mortgage for the bank manager because he was only could look at his own only bank mortgages from his bank, and obviously I'm whole of market, so those name badges are like gold dust, and they're one of my top networking tips.
Yeah, absolutely. And you can't quite see it, but I mean, Sam's seen my branding. I wear my name on my sweatshirt. My polo is exactly the same underneath. And on the back of it, it says, ask me about networking with WIBN. And I must admit, I'll go to a meeting and then I might nip to the shop on the way home, or I might nip somewhere. Because that's what we do, don't we? We multitask about 8 different things while we're out doing one job. And so many people will either call me by my name, especially when I'm in the supermarket, and they'll be like, "Oh, Vicky, how are you?" And I think, "Well, where do I know you from?" And then I realise I've got my name on my shirt. And a few people have stopped me to say, "What?" Because women, people are like, "Woman, what is that?" And there might be guys, and I'm happy to have
Yeah,
conversations, but I do think you're right. It's a really good top tip
yeah.
to actually have something with your branding. But I can't, you would never do like a branded polo shirt, because I know you love your clothes too much, but that
You
badge
say
works.
that, but I am speaking to a lady next week about maybe a hoodie because maybe like at weekends, I don't
Yeah,
always wear posh frocks. And maybe at a weekend, you're just dropping the kids off at something. And actually, if I just put on a blue hoodie with a big angel on it, and so watch
conversation
this
starter. Yeah,
space.
watch this space. And maybe I'll have to have a women meeting where everybody has to wear the branding.
I,
New
I do
rules,
actually
new rules.
already have that logo tattooed on my stomach, so that logo will never change.
Tell me about when somebody comes to you for the first time. So let's go with a first time buyer. So I'm going to use my girls as examples. So I've got a 22 and a 25-year-old. One's about to come back from a long reign of traveling, and she's going to realise she's coming back to the UK and she's going to be as miserable as you like. And at some point she'll go, I really don't want to live with you anymore, Mum, because I haven't lived with you for a couple of years. What would that conversation and how would that journey go for her as someone that's buying their first property?
So I think the first thing I'd say is it's never too early to have that conversation. In that, once you're over 18, let's have a chat. Or if you're under 18, let's talk with your adult. Because my son's all over this already, and he's only 15, so I don't think he wants to live with me very much longer at all.
Oh,
So I just have a chat, and I pick the phone up and I'll talk to a client. And it's not just me now that there are other advisors within the team. So one of us will pick the phone up, we'll chat to you, and it's that quick 10-minute chat. Who are you? Where you're trying to get to? Do I trust you? Do you trust me? And
yeah,
that's that initial, okay, I don't think I'm going to be the right advisor for you, or actually I think there's a great synergy here and would I'd love to help you along your journey. So I then ask some questions about your situation. And then depending on what you're doing, if you're a first time buyer, like, okay, I want to make a plan for 5 years' time, then that's a different conversation to, do you know what? I'm looking to buy this year. What do I do? So let's assume you're looking to buy quite soon. Send me your payslips, send me your bank statements, send me your ID, send me your credit reports. Let me see your documents. And then I go through them within 2 working days. And then we have a 45-minute meeting, either online if you want to do evenings, or I do one Saturday a month in the office in Lee, or I do daytime in the office in Lee, whatever works for people, really. And then I share my screen and we go through, right, okay, I've got the data capture, right? This is what I've seen from your bank statements, la, 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 la. This is what you've told me, right? These are the lenders, and this is how much this one will lend you, and this is how much, and it's just sharing that information. And
yeah,
there's a huge disparity between how much the lenders would lend in each situation. Now, I've said already one size doesn't fit all, and you can have exactly the same person. And I think you've seen my spotlight before where I've actually got a screenshot of the difference. And I
yeah.
think it was the difference between being able to buy a garage and being able to buy a house for that particular scenario. So we talk that through, but the amount you can borrow is almost a bit of a mess with your brain, right? Well, what does that really actually mean? So we then look at monthly mortgage payments because that ultimately is the
That's
most
what you understand,
important.
isn't it? Yeah. It's
Yes,
like how much
yeah,
money I'm going to have to take out of my wages every month to pay the
yes,
mortgage. Yeah.
yes. And then when we find that monthly budget that if you say a number and the clients are like that, you're like, okay, well, that doesn't feel comfortable because everybody's got a completely different relationship with money. And everybody feels differently about debt. So we just talk about, okay, this is the maximum you can borrow. What does that monthly payment feel like? And I'll get a reaction. If that's not
Yeah.
right, we'll then tailor, okay, well, if you don't borrow that much, if you borrow this, that's your monthly payment. What does that feel like? And then, okay, that's the monthly payment. So then let's go back to the loan amount. Right. Now that's the value, that's the purchase price of the property you're looking at. Does that fit the area that you're looking at? What does your lifestyle look like? There's so many things that touch a mortgage conversation, which I think is why I refer so many other people because things just come up when you're having that chat with people about what they want to change and where they want to go to. I don't just want to look at, right, well, this is how you can get the keys to this first house and then that's off. It's about building that longer term relationship and understanding, okay, you're a first time buyer now, but actually, are you planning to get married or are you going to be on maternity leave when this mortgage rate ends? Or are you going to just about to go self-employed? Because all of those things we can kind of steer you in the right direction so that you don't trip yourself up in the future
Yeah.
for planned events. Obviously, life throws things at
Yeah.
us
You
that are
get
not
curveballs,
planned.
but yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, it's that longer term. Okay, where are you trying to get to? What's the time frame? Okay, do this path and then do that in the future. And yeah, I think my brain works a little bit differently to everyone else's.
Are people surprised when you, because I mean, as I say, it's been a long time since I've had to kind of do anything around the mortgage arena, but at the time it felt very transactional. I need a
Mm,
mortgage. And I think at that time it was you went to the bank,
yeah.
you just went to whoever you were banking with. Are people surprised when you ask them about those kind of life questions? And how do they respond to that? Are they fairly open, or do you just get a real mixed bag? Some are guarded, and like, why is she asking me that? Um,
I think most
I guess
people
you
are.
hear it all.
I've heard many things, but obviously I have to comply with data
Like
protection,
confidentiality.
so client
Yeah,
confidentiality. So long as you can't identify the client, then I can talk about case studies. But generally, I think you attract the clients that are right for you, don't you? I'm a very open person, and I think that that resonates with the kind of people that gravitate towards me. I am not the right mortgage advisor for everybody. We all know that. Um, so most conversations are quite open. They've already sent me their bank statements. I'm already telling them about. I had a conversation with a guy last week. Now, when you apply for a mortgage, you have to send off bank statements to the lender to let the underwriters verify banking conduct and all kinds of things like that. It's a requirement in most situations. So if you're transferring money between friends, and I think probably we've all done it, it's quite funny to put money for redacted. Um, Underwriters don't always see that as funny, and some things are actually illegal and therefore have to be investigated.
oh, okay, okay.
So just think about when you're transferring money to friends or
Funny.
family, just be careful. So this is my first time buyers, my anybody who's in that situation, generally it's first time buyers because they've not been through it before and they're yeah, a little bit more frivolous with how they communicate with their friends, perhaps.
Mm,
But that's the kind of advice I'm giving them. Don't be gambling half of your salary each month.
yeah.
Don't be bouncing into your overdraft. Just a list of right, just go away and do that, and then come back in 3 months, and actually you'll find you're in a much stronger
Much
position.
stronger position. Yeah, it's funny,
Yeah,
isn't it? Because I wouldn't even, if I was transferring money to someone, it would just be like money to Jess, money to Jazz, money to Jay. I wouldn't, but
yeah.
I could imagine,
Oh,
you might think it's just really funny. So that when somebody sees it ping up on their banking app, they'll be like, oh, that's funny. But yeah, you're not thinking about the consequences of
no,
what that might mean. I mean, when people come to you and you ask them to provide all of that information, because to me, that just feels like, oh, so much work to do.
I know.
There's no easy way to do that, is there? It's just like it's one of those jobs that you've just got to, like me and my tax return, which I still haven't done yet. I haven't got long to get it done.
Vicky,
I know.
why are
Um,
you talking to me? You should be doing your tax
no,
return.
it's on. It will be done. It's fine. It's absolutely fine. It has to be done. But it's having to then get all of that information together.
Yeah,
I'm guessing it's just something you just have to sit and slog through to pull all the information together.
it's
Um,
not that difficult in this digital world.
okay.
Most people can download their bank statements in a matter of clicks. Most of them you can do it on the app, and you can ping it over really quite quickly. Actually, most of us have got photos of our passport and driving license on our phones already, so that can go over. And pay slips are actually even issued electronically now. So I don't really expect it to
Oh, it's
take
me. It's
more
me
than
making it.
15 minutes.
It's me making it a bigger deal in my head than perhaps it needs to be. It's probably because I haven't had a wage slip for 5 years either.
Some clients have old historic accounts with banks where they have to go in and put a
Yeah,
passbook in and get a printed statement. So yeah, that's a real faff.
yeah,
But
yeah,
yeah, generally I don't want deposit stuff at that initial conversation, but I do want to, if I don't look at your banking conduct now, there's something that might cause us a problem in the future. And I do
yeah,
not want to be the person that says you can't buy your dream home.
yeah.
That doesn't make me happy.
That's a bit of a crusher of dreams, isn't it? Or as my husband sometimes says to me, you're such a spoiler of fun when I say we can't do something. Such a spoiler of fun. So 10 years, 10-year anniversary. I'm guessing it hasn't always been straightforward. I'm guessing there's
No,
been some curveballs and some challenges along the way. What have
yes.
have been some or one of the challenges that you've had to overcome over 10 years? For me, it's just like, just got to keep going. You just got to keep going and believe in what you're doing. It's the right thing. And it will come good. And it does. It's like a bloody roller coaster, though, isn't it? Most
Yeah,
of the time.
yeah, it really is. Um, Probably a couple of things of note. I, like most people, when I started my business, I also run another job alongside. so that I was not completely right, I've got no money. I had enough money coming in from this other job that was also related. So it was I was learning how somebody else did mortgages whilst I was learning how to set up my own. And I learned a lot during that time. But it meant that it took me 3 years to actually be self-financing because I was only doing it evenings and weekends, and that was a real struggle. I had young kids at the time. Like I say, my family had been incredibly supportive all the way through. We've spent hours making little salt dough angels to give out at events and all sorts of stuff that get everyone involved. But when I left that job after 3 years, that's when really that's that brave moment of can I actually do this? And to be honest, the business absolutely flourished because I had more time to invest with
Time. Yeah.
one-to-ones
Yeah.
and go out and meet people and just yeah, I've loved it all the way through, but that probably it was a very scary moment, but it was the best thing I could have done. And then COVID happened. And I know a lot of people struggled. We lost people, and it was a really surreal time for a lot of people and businesses. But overnight, banks closed, and
Yeah.
all of those people that would have just walked into their bank actually had nowhere else to go. They had to find somebody that was open. And I was. So my business tripled
Wow.
in that year.
In that year,
I actually ended up in hospital because
you've
I
worked too
was
hard.
working too hard. I was homeschooling. Part of my journey is my children. I've the corporate environment just does not cover. I don't think it really works for many women who are parents, but especially not if you've got a special needs child when you've got lots of medical appointments and you're using all of your holiday for hospital appointments. Like there's no balance there.
There's
So
no fun in that, is there? To then think, what are we going to do?
yeah,
That's amazing that you. So were you heavily advertising in
no.
lockdown, or just people were just fine?
Well,
Because you've always marketed your business, haven't you? People
I've
just,
got a brilliant VA.
you have got a brilliant VA.
I don't enjoy social media really. I don't yeah, there's lots of parts of my business and I've been quite selective along the way because I'm really passionate about mortgages. I'm really passionate about helping people get where they want to be in life. I don't want to get people in loads of debt, but I want you to live the life that you are dreaming of, so long as it's realistic. Um, and I've really focused on the bits of the job that bring me joy and marketing and social media and the networking actually didn't to start with. I was terrified, but now actually I really enjoy it. I've got such a wonderful community of people around me. WIBN is a big part of my life because they can become friends as well. And I joined WIBN because running a business is lonely.
Yeah.
And I'd gone from a busy office in London to sitting at my dining room table talking to clients and providers all day long. And that's lovely, but no one's asking me. There's no one there to celebrate. You know what? I've worked for 3 weeks and I've finally got this case through, and there's no one to share that with. My husband's great, but he doesn't get it.
Yeah, no,
Um,
100%. I feel the same way. I discovered networking 5 years ago. I didn't even know it was a thing, and having women in business to share successes, because it doesn't
yeah,
have to be this big grand success. It could be the smallest thing, but
yeah,
we all know how important that is to each other, and therefore being able to celebrate it. I mean, you're an award-winning my mortgage angel, so you've always got great things to share. But I know even if somebody comes along with something quite small, you would be shouting from the rafters for them. But
yeah,
I just kind of looping back, you are doing exactly the right thing. And it's the thing I tell a lot of my clients all the time is, stay in your zone of genius. You have got an amazing
oh, I like
VA.
that.
Hopefully she'll come and do a member showcase with me. But you have got an amazing VA. Did you meet her through networking?
Of course.
Brilliant. I love stories like that. But yeah, you stay in your zone of genius and
Yeah,
use those people around you that are in their zone of genius to do that work for
yeah.
you. That's where that's where the magic happens.
Definitely.
Sam, I'm going to start wrapping up. So if people are if random people, if somebody is looking for a mortgage advisor, how do they find you? Where should they come and look for you?
The best way to get in touch with me is to send me an email. My email address is sam@mymortgageangel.co.uk. Nice and straightforward. I don't hide behind receptionists or anything. The office number is 01268 90 4444. If I'm in the office, it will be me that answers the phone, and everyone is always surprised. Oh, I've
Yeah,
got you. But with all due respect, nobody's ringing to speak to my receptionist.
that's
So
right.
yeah, so I'm really accessible. I'm really visible. Like I say, it's not just me in the business. We've got other advisors. We've got the lovely Laura on board now. We're training other people as well. Caroline's my PA in the office. She's fantastic. We've got a brilliant website, as you would expect at www.mymortgageangel.co.uk. And I will have to send you my social media handles because I don't
Absolutely
know
fine.
them.
That's absolutely fine. I can dig those out and I will put all of that contact information in the description of this
Thank
video.
you.
So thank you for joining me today, Sam. It's always fab to catch up with you. We've got a one-to-one soon, haven't we? Because we really
Yes.
haven't, we see each other a fair amount, but we really haven't kind of got into the weeds of each other's business. But I do feel just
Yeah.
having this conversation with you, I know more about what you do. So if
Oh,
you've enjoyed this showcase, please give it some love. If you would like to find out more about WIBN Essex, then head down to the notes and you will find my contact details as well as Sam's. If you would like to come along, find out more about networking in general. But most importantly, if you have enjoyed this, please give us a subscribe because I am trying to grow this channel and really showcase what amazing women we have in the Women in Business Network, not only in Essex, but across the whole of the UK. So thanks, Sam. Great to see you as always. Bye for now.
bye.